Okay, so the next thing that we need to do for this exercise is to figure out how to do this subtotal. So this is a special case of the referencing from another form in which we're going to pull in a subform control information into the main form. So you can see that the syntax is a little different than what we had before. So in this case, since we're working on forms, it starts with those forms, exclamation point, same way this one did. Just like this one, we're gonna point to the object, which is the main form first. But then we're going to tell it, hey, look at over here at the subform. Once we do that, we tell it, hey, it's a form. Notice that this does not have an S. This just has form singular. I have no idea why they did the syntax like this, but it's a really easy mistake to make. So if your referencing doesn't work, then check that. Followed by the control on the subform and then value or whatever other property you're grabbing from it. Okay, so that's the syntax that we're going to follow, and let's look at what's going on in here. Okay, so the subtotal is adding together whatever is inside of this, right? So this subform, we can actually even trace back what's going on here if we look at the design view and go in here and look at the properties, and we can see that the form that it's referencing is the orders subform. So let's go ahead and close this. It's going to get mad at us, so it won't let us look at both at the same time. So let's look at the orders subform. And so this view gives us exactly what we were looking at with the orders form that inside the subform, that table view, except for this is all of the products in the entire catalog. So if we go to our form view, it's a little bit nicer way to see it. You can see that it has the same columns. The fields are the same. The big difference here is that we have this order subtotal. So this subtotal as it is inside of this version of the subform, because this is not attached to the main form that divides it up by order, this is the subtotal for like everything in the entire catalog. So we got a lot of inventory here going on. So let's go over to design view. That so we can see it. So here you can see that order subtotal is in the form footer. What that's doing is that it's taking anything that's inside the detail view or section of the form, and it's adding up all of the things. So if you look inside of this, and we can go to the property sheet so we can look at the control source here, you can see that it's just what we just did. It's just a sum of the extended price. So this is a reference, but it's not an external referencing, it's an internal referencing, just doing math inside of itself. So new lesson, you can do this to capture what other stuff that's going inside of the detail view and to add it all up. Okay, so if we have this sum of this extended price, adding all of this together, what we need to grab from this is the name of the control, right? So this is the order subtotal. So if we go back to my PowerPoint, that is, actually that should be capitalized, order subtotal right there. Okay, so that is on the orders subform, capitalized there. Okay, so we're grabbing value, order subtotal is the control, order subform is the name of the subform. Okay, I'm gonna close close that. I didn't mean to change anything. If I did, hopefully I didn't break anything. Okay, so now we're going back to our orders form. So you see here, so it says orders, main form is orders, 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 orders. Okay, so this is, that should work. Notice that this already has the brackets around it because I copy pasted it from the actual working code. So let's see if there's capitalizations mess this up or not. Obviously the subtotal already exists, so we're just gonna see if we can do that again and just stick it down here underneath this total. So let's go ahead and create our new text box. Again, text box being super duper useful and doing all sorts of things more than just data entry. Okay, so again, we don't have to bind it to anything. We're gonna do some straight just typing in here. It's super long, so this is one of those cases where over here makes more sense. It's the control source. So let's see if I can do this without typos. So forms, exclamation point. And you can see that it's going, oh, you want orders? Cool, let's do orders. All right. Here, I'm gonna make sure I put my little bracket thingies around it because it's 2 words. See, this actually is not popping up automatically, which always makes me a little more nervous. Much easier to make mistakes on this one than in the other. Form, bang, order, total, bang, value. Okay. All right, so when I hit enter, it put brackets around everything else, which is good. That gives me hope that I did it correctly. Okay, we're gonna flip over here and look, that's not, it says 320. And that is what the subtotals over here says. So we recreated it correctly. We had the right syntax. So there you go. So that's how you reference something off of a subform and how you can do some calculations inside your subform that can bring it over into your main form. And of course, to clean this up, we'd want to do things like renaming this and formatting it correctly, just like how these are. And using our space better, like bringing this up and close together, making them currency, etc. But yeah, that is referencing.